just said last. If the research community requires that you write in a language different from the traditional way philosophers write, know your traditional philosophy writing, keep improving on it, and also know this language of research writing where you narrate methods and so all of that. What the point is about knowing where the situation is and telling yourself, if I want to contribute to the current situation, I have to know what the situation requires. And you acquire the skill and you see yourself moving on, being able to respond whatever the context. I hope that my response is clear.
Yes.
Okay, you wanted to ask questions? I think that's the last question, unless Naliaka or Ezema have something to tell us.
The Joy, man, Joy can write.
Okay, Joy, if you have something you could share, you could write. Let's see how we access that, please. If you have a question, you could write, please. Yes, go on.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay, Joy wrote, actually, she said, I can hear everything. I'm not encountering any problem. Okay, Joy, we're happy to read that, but we would have liked to hear your voice also. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. You have just sparked a light inside of me. So before I ask my question, sir, to take me back to a brief story. When I started picking books to read. So in the process of reading different books, I met this author called Leonardo da Vinci. So I became a Da Vinciist, so to say. So since then, I've been working on serious issues on social problems such as work as human being per se. So my focus was to reduce the energy in which people put in much work. So then I met another author again, Noah Harari, who was on 21 lessons to learn in 21 century. So in that process, I wrote this proposal because I wanted to go to school. There was no fund. I was looking for means to go to school to get, but I needed fund to stay focused and to get a good grade. So I discovered this problem, overloading in Ibadan. So this overloading is always serious, that cars will break down, tires will burst, especially on highways, and it causes accidents. So I sat down, I wrote this thing. So I took it to secretariat. When I got to secretariat, I met this man. He said, what type of degree do you have? I said, I don't have degree. He asked me to go back, and I wrote it on a blueprint. So to cut my story short, so my question is, can a writer be an inventor? That's my first question. So my second question is, where can I meet or be part of inventive research? These are my two questions. What's from this question? I have been rejected 2 proposals. So I need a broad knowledge on it, aside Nigeria, where I can take it to, if it is not to be.
Okay, thank you for your questions. I'll begin with the second. Can a writer be an innovator? An inventor, yes. My answer is yes. Remember we talked about creativity and imagination. Yes. So anytime you create, you are inventing something new. And more importantly, anytime your new output involves huge level of imagination added to the creativity involved, you have something new. So when you say inventor, these are concepts that play around together. Invent, innovate, create, recreate. These things play together, and they are based on the capacity to imagine. Sometimes we say reimagine. So yes, a writer can be an inventor. Because that time you sit down and write, and your thoughts are flowing. If you allow your mind to wander, you can imagine what is not yet here, and you tell us that it is possible. I gave us an example yesterday how the United Nations we have today has no meaning without the initial recommendations of Kant. I told us that the laws of physics the laws many astronomers are using to study the space today are related to the theories Einstein only imagined. Einstein had no basis for practical testing of the theories of relativity, no. But he only kept imagining that if this is what we see, then this is possible, only at the imaginary level. And today, Einstein's relativity theory has weakened many arguments of Newton. But these guys, they stated these theories without much empirical evidence. But that didn't weaken any of their theories. I want to connect this quickly to the question, my response to Joshua initially. One, there is a bias against, in favor of quantitative study. But that doesn't mean that the study that is not quantitative is useless. The best bet is to see how you combine both. When you do it that way, you come from a perspective that suits the current bias and yet suits what you want to do. I don't know whether that is clear. Now, regarding whether, yes, I think I've responded to the two questions. Have I?
You've not given me the platform where I can meet. You can conduct this inventive research.
The platform you can conduct inventive research is the platform like this one, and what happens after here. But take note, every platform you join as a researcher or a growing researcher, you are coming there with claims of capacity. So the best bet to grow wherever the platform is to keep working on yourself. Today you may not have a platform, but you can keep working on yourself so that maybe somebody else discovers you and introduces you to a platform. So the core question is platform, yes, but underlying the fundamental question is yourself, capacity development. But here is already a platform for information. So as we grow to know ourselves, a lot of things can happen from here and beyond here.
Yes.
So yes, a writer can be an inventor. Yes, and so the example you gave, for instance, if you knew, for instance, about overloading, option one, you could find somebody in the university. Because the question, what degree do you have, presupposes that you lack the research skills. Do you understand? So it's not a question to belittle you, no. Two, beyond having the research skills, if you don't have degree, the assumption is that you are not an authority to explore this. And if you are not, who cares to listen to you? So these are the issues. So even though you had no degree then, had it been you said, for instance, I've worked with so group and we have done so type of study on so thing, that guy will listen. Because by those stories, you are saying, I have no degree, but I have capacity. I have no degree, but I have experience. Are we clear? Yes. So, yes, the question was, insulting, but let's take it on a positive side. That the question was a question to ask you, what experience do you have? What capacity do you have? So my answer is, as we live here and as the days roll by, focus on developing your capacity. If possible, after a week today, look back and smile and say, I am not who I was in 2nd August.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You understand? And this thing is important. I return to the idea of continuous growth, to the idea of continuous learning. Let this be our watchword. Let it be possible that every week that passes, you look back and laugh and say, God, I'm not the former me.
Yes.
So if we look at it from this perspective, we could see ourselves, transforming every year, every week, every month. I hope my answers are clear and useful. So our colleagues via Zoom, could you share some of your thoughts with us, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Doc. What you said about continuous development is very, very important. Very, 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 very important. They say that iron sharpens iron. So one can also grow within a circle. I remembered when we were in the seminary, just one day, one particular seminarian met me and said that himself and together with another seminarian that they want to form a reading circle, with me. So I said, no problem. So they formed the circle, like 3 of us, and we started, mapping out the things to read and the time frame to read that. And I must tell you that that group really helped, because it helped me to achieve things that I never imagined that I would achieve, and with limited time and commitment. For example, we said we'll read the Catechism of the Catholic Church, CCC, cover to cover. And we drew the chart, the number, each day, numbers to cover. And because we are growing within a circle, it helped me, to read through the CCC cover to cover and with commitment. And I must tell you that today, that particular capacity that I developed, it's really helping me. So I'm thinking that to also be in this consciousness of development and continuous development, it needs a circle. Just as we already have, of course, Writers Republic, but making it active and then, mapping out areas to cover, how to